31. So roll call. Nancy Allianat, Chair, Steve Workman, Secretary, and Michael Wordsworth, super member and Led Zeppelin fan. Okay, do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
Okay, all in favor? Passes unanimously. Approval of minutes from February 28th.
I mean, I say yes because I wrote them, but
I
someone else would probably say yes.
I say yes because I read them.
I'll say yes, even though I wasn't there.
Sounds like
I read them.
Okay, approved unanimously. Now we go to old meat business, and I'd just like to add a brief comment as to why the March 28th meeting was canceled at the last minute. And that is because someone at a higher pay grade than any of us wanted the slot. And originally they thought they'd be done at 7, but weren't. In fact, I think that thing went on until 8:30. So it's a good thing we didn't wait. So April 11th is when we have rescheduled. And that's the first of the old business. The second item is current entity vacancies. We have 2. We still have 2. And then the third item is document website translation, which I played around with in French because that's the only thing I can read that was on that list besides English. And I don't read that very well anymore. And it turns out that it doesn't work on PDFs. So the things for the AGM that are just up there, you know, on the website, when you open it, you can see like the biographies of the prospective nominees, and you can read, there's something up there that you can click on that's how to vote, I think, something like that. That's text. That works great. The minute you download a PDF, you don't get it. So when we do our AGM stuff, we need to think about how we can put up both. People like the PDFs because they can download them and get them in a known format. And there's no reason we can't find a way to put up both.
Yeah, I mean, we should just be able to simply copy the text from the PDF and then post it as plain text, which the translator should cooperate with in theory. Yeah, I mean, there's no way that I'm aware of that we could actually make the PDF be automatically translated into another language for the download. We'd have to pay money for that to happen, of course. But I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to post it in plain text.
I couldn't copy the PDFs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tried to do the text select of the select and the text and paste it on, and I couldn't select anything. But the PDFs were made from a Word document, so we can do that. The only problem is going to be the ballot itself, because it's basically a JPEG, because it has all that drawing of like little circles to fill in and all. So we'll just have to find a way around that, I guess. Well, I don't know yet.
If I remember right from last year, everything that went onto the ballot was stuff we sent over to them anyway. So we should have all of that as a text document ahead of time.
Yeah.
The only exception would be if they move things around a little bit, like, you know, if yes is on the left and no is on the right, and they flip it so no is on the right, left, and right, and whatnot. But I mean, it shouldn't be an insurmountable technical hurdle to overcome.
No, I don't think so either. It's just something we need to know is out there.
So
we can...
this translator thing, you're going to translate the whole ballot over to something that somebody can fill out, and we're getting a different ballot then?
No, so the ballot would still be the exact same, but it would have the numbers on it. And they could translate the website. So they could be, all right, number one is blah, blah, blah. And they can look at the website and say, hey, one translated into French is these French words. So it would still be us, sending out English ballots, but we'd want to have a link or something saying, hey, if you need another language, go to the website and, you're able to view it. Maybe we want to throw that into, a couple different languages, but yeah.
And we have that many people that can't read English.
I mean, looking at the census data, there is a very real possibility.
Okay.
I think most people who own the house, though, can read English. Because remember, this is not just everybody who lives there or renters. This is members who are voting. So I think there's a higher probability of everybody can read English, but it's not a bad idea to use the little button. And if it's only a little extra effort, that's great. And no extra money, that's even greater.
Okay, I was worried that it would change the ballot. That was my only concern. All right.
No,
Yeah.
we're going to post everything in English. And if it Google or whoever that little app is that translates is a problem, well, that's just happens, I guess, in translation.
And I mean, it's possible maybe we need to just add a disclaimer at the bottom of the page saying, we are using an open source translation tool. We cannot verify the accuracy of the translations.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. From what I saw, it was pretty good, but
yeah, I mean, they've gotten really good. It's just when it comes down to the legalese, I'm not sure how well it'll do in those. But again, being that I speak English and I have no other frame of reference, I can't really test it. I just know that we had people, in meetings in the past talking about, hey, it'd be really helpful if we had documentation in Spanish.
that's the way they can have it: Spanish, French, Russian,
Exactly.
and anything else. Okay, are we ready to go on to Unilect? Okay, Unilect has an interesting story behind it, in that I compared the last year's contract to this year's contract and noticed on the return ballots, there was a discrepancy. So I called, the discrepancy was their chart. This year it's almost 1,500 for 1,000 absentee ballots. And last year it was a little over 1,200 for 1,900 absentee ballots. So I called Catherine about it. And she called me back within an hour. And what it was is, this year they spell out the $800 maintenance fee for their high volume postage return, which allows you to return them at a cost of 69 cents each. That's what they're charged, but it's through this, what do they call it? Maintenance fee, $800. Last year, it should have been $720. They forgot to charge us. The year before, it should have been $690 some dollars. They forgot to charge us. Now this year, she had already put it down, so they will be charging us. And I can't hear you, Steve, you're muted.
Sorry, I realized I was muted because I type really loud and you guys can probably hear my clacking. I was trying to write down the dollar amounts. Last year should have been 720. What was the year before?
690 something. I don't remember the last digit, but the idea was this year, because of inflation, it went up to 800. She is not going to try and get rebill or anything. Obviously, she can't. It's all settled, and she volunteered that right away. But she was kind of surprised. They forgot it when I called and asked, what about the difference? It crossed my mind that was about the right amount of money to be the problem. So consequently, that's another reason why our estimate was low for this year, because it was based on actual costs last year. Plus the contract, which was unfortunately low, at least unfortunately for Unilect. Now, there's another angle I want to talk about briefly.
So
this.
hold on. This fee is for absentee ballots?
This fee is for a reduced postage rate on return postage.
Okay,
It's for high volume return postage. And it
okay,
allows you to pay 64 cents return postage for our ballot. If it weren't for that postage, high volume return thingy, it would be, I think she said, $1.45 for
really?
return ballot. So it's a
Wow.
big difference.
Yeah,
But on the other hand, there's an $800 fee. Well, I figured the break even between getting paying the $800 and paying the $1.45 full rate is about 1,027 ballots. So it's just going to depend on how active, we think our AGM will be. We can switch to that when we know how many candidates we got. And actually, in 2020 and 2021, we would have done a little better without the fee.
so we only
we
paid
got the best of all worlds, because we didn't pay the fee and we paid the lower rate.
But we only have, that fee is only if people mail them all the way back to Unilect.
Yes.
Why don't we tell people to turn them in locally and not have to pay that fee? Or explain that, it's cost us $800 if you mail these. So if you just turn them in the box, we'll save a lot of money.
Yeah, or we could actually tell them by the time we make that decision, it costs $1.45 or whatever. I think that's what she said, but she was kind of in a hurry, and it wasn't something I needed to push right then.
Okay, we could switch to that at a later date, though, as we get closer.
To that before things are mailed.
All right.
After we know how many candidates we have, because that will give us an idea of how lively the election is.
Yeah.
When we think about what kind of return we get, about 60% of the returns are by US mail. The rest go in the drop box by the administration building.
Really?
Or there are people who voted at the AGM or in the morning of the AGM.
Yeah.
So
60% of the people do mail them back to Unilect.
60% mail them back. It's high. Mail it back to Unilect instead of walking over and putting it in the box. I've always put it in the box ever since the box has been there, which is only 2 years worth. So.
Okay.
So what's the total price of the contract?
$16,467.35. And we had said 16,000 even. And if we'd known about the maintenance fee thing, we would have been, our budget would have been 750 or whatever we decided the increase would be for inflation more. So we would have made it, we would have been in budget. So we got a good deal last year, and the year before, thanks to human error.
We have to represent this to get it budgeted.
I have to present this to finance. They have to bless it. And then it has to go to the board. And I'm not sure if I take it to the board or Kim takes it because she's finance chair.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's what it has to go. And it's because it's over budget.
Okay.
It's,
And it costs us whatever just to have the ballots printed if we do it all ourselves.
oh, yes. Not only is there the cost of doing the ballots and mailing the ballots, and I believe we decided we'd have a stamp or whatever in there so people could return it, which means we pay for all the returns because we have all of it in there. Plus there's the arguments over, he walked in with a big overcoat and stuffed the ballot box, that kind of crap.
Yeah.
At the current price, assuming we have 3,000 lots in Sudden Valley, we're talking about $5.50 for the election per lot.
Yeah.
And that's
But
with
I'm
the
just
$800 fee.
curious. I don't want to go back to the argument of he said, she said, and then somebody closed my eyes and I was in another world. No, I was just curious.
You know, I think Linda had worked up those numbers and I don't have them in front of me, but really the difference is what if we did it ourselves and rounded up a master counter and I don't know, 20 or so volunteers to do the counting, we might save, I think it was about $5,000.
Yeah. Okay. No, at the cost of doing it per lot, would you say it was?
My math came out, again, my math is wrong. I know that right up front. But it came out to be $5.49.
So it'd be
That's rounding up.
less than half that. If you take the savings as between what it would cost us to do it and what we
Okay.
pay Unit to do it, which
All right.
was a good number to have. I just didn't think that far ahead
Yeah.
on it. I was just kind of surprised to find that deal with the missing fee.
Yeah, and the rate was probably is going to go down because I did my math. I took the total number and divided it by 3,000, and we have more than 3,000 lots. I just don't know the number off the top of my head. A quick Google search told me that it was 3,500, but I know that we've combined lots and such since, so
It's
I knew that
about
was too high.
3,133, I think, at the last count I saw. So
Okay.
anyway, I'd like to make a motion to accept the Unit contract as is. Price-wise, I did ask her for a change in the date we get the ballot to them to September 9th in the afternoon, late afternoon.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Unanimous, good. I'll do my best to explain that postage stuff to the finance committee.
Yeah, I tried to put it in the notes.
Tim will
and-
understand.
yeah.
Well, I'll write something up
Yeah,
and send it with the contract
yeah.
for them to put it in their agenda. Because they will need to vote on it. Okay. So now we're to our least favorite subject, which is updating the manual. So how do we want to do this?
as I understood it, we left it last year completed. We had it done. But the little mind trust that sits at the table there decided they wanted to see what it looked like before and what it looked like, what it would look like after. So they wanted to see the old verbiage in there with the changes. I just did this with the bylaws for a group that I'm in, and we updated the bylaws. And I put everything, I got the regular bylaws, the old copy of it, and I put in all the changes in red right behind it. It was, I said this is what it says, and then this is what it would, this line would change to this. Is that what they want to see?
I'm not sure what they want to see.
I think before we do any more work on it, we should find out exactly what they want to see so that we know we can only give it, that way we only have to do it once. But isn't it all done? I mean,
Except for proxy. So let's do proxy. We didn't do proxy. Steve and I worked on it and then decided we'd wait for you for proxy.
weren't proxies by the verbiage of the lawyer that they're not needed?
They are needed.
Oh,
The lawyer said they are needed. He said the hierarchy of things, of laws, is such that the HOA law is more relevant to Sudden Valley, more detailed to homeowners associations, and the nonprofit is more general. So we get hit with the more detailed one. I had that list of what law is what somewhere, but not with me.
so
I was very disappointed.
these two things you sent, the Washington Nonprofit Corporation Act is trumped by the Homeowner Association Act.
Yes,
Oh, that's too bad.
because the homeowner association is more specific to Sudden Valley than the nonprofit.
Nancy, real quick question. Is there going to be a meeting where you're able to find out from the board what they want from our manual between now and our next scheduled meeting on the 25th?
Yes, but we're still gonna have to do the proxy part. So why don't we do that tonight?
If we can find out what they want, making those changes and doing it in real time is going to be easier if we know what they want up front.
I agree.
I mean, we can change it, but that means we're gonna have to go back and redo the whole thing as opposed to just making the changes when we know what style they want.
Well, let's all read through it, make sure we're at least somewhat comfortable with what's there.
Okay.
Because it's been a while since we've all looked at it.
We went over this in our previous meeting, you and I, when Michael wasn't in attendance, correct?
Correct. Well, we didn't do the proxy. We went
skipped
over
it. That's
everything but the proxy.
Well,
And that's-
I've looked at it, and what we did last year, I'm very happy with. I don't think we have to go back and read the whole thing. If they
There
just
were
wanna-
some, I'm sorry, go ahead.
if they just want to put in little clauses showing what we changed, that's fairly simple to do.
I think there's a program that takes the old one and the new one and compares them, and it's pretty automatic.
Yeah.
Doesn't Google have that? I've never run it on it, but
Yeah, I mean, there's a compare changes where you can do one version, another version, but the problem we've always had is I've offered to do that a couple times, but I don't have the original document anymore because what we've been changing on Google Docs is the updated version. So we only have the current issue version, and I don't have a copy of the original.
oh, I see. I thought that was up there. It's not? If I get you an original, can you load it?
Yeah, in theory, I mean, yes, I can definitely load it, but like the original conversation we were having before, if I upload it, that's going to be something that I own, and that's something that should be uploaded by our HOA staff member, which I think is John at the moment. So if John can upload it, we should be able to do that comparison between the two.
Okay. So Michael, you're happy with what's in there now?
I thought we did a really good job on it. I was extremely upset when they came back and said, we want to, but yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
So to word what we need in our bylaws about the proxy, it says in this RCW voting in person absentees and proxies, it says owners may vote at a meeting in person absentee ballot pursuant to blah, 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 or by proxy pursuant to subsection 5 of this section. So all we have to do is take out subsection 5, A, B, C, D, and E of whatever we want and put it in there in a paragraph of proxy, because that's what the law says.
I think we wrote something else that we,
I don't think we can write something of our own. We have to write what the law says, what the RCW says.
right, but we can add things like designating a proxy agent. We did that. Any member can designate it by completing the paperwork, and that agent has to be a member.
Yeah.
The lawyer said we could do certain things like that. And our bylaws say once vote is cast, it may not be changed. That's not usual for proxies. Usually on a proxy deal, it's the last vote that counts. And for us, it's the first, thank God. Otherwise, we'd have total confusion at the last minute. So, yeah, I like what we wrote before, because we also have all that member in good standing stuff there too. Let's see, budget only invalid. I'm trying to get back to where my proxy stuff was.
5.7 on page 17.
Okay, I went too far. No, I'm not used to using one of these touchpad things, and that's what's on this computer. So actually, and we had the, you can't pay people to, to get their proxy in there. And the lawyer went, he said we could have those kind of rules last year. So I wanted to put them in the manual to make them, visible to people. So yeah, it's a little more involved than just copying what's down there in that. Okay, so you want to get the other one up. And then we can go back through the proxy stuff. And
The proxy is all brand new stuff anyway. So it's all going to be red or black, or I don't know what color we make it.
That's true. Nothing, it's all change.
Yeah. So maybe I'm worrying about nothing.
Yeah. So the only places that were going to be changed is the place between the old and the new.
Yeah.
So I have and I'm just looking at what I have, and I have a copy of, it says, this is from Linda to all of us. It says final N and E election manual. And I have a copy of that, but has none of the proxy stuff in it.
That's right, because we didn't know about the proxy stuff until August or something like that.
And then I have something here. It says proxy procedure disagreement and N and E committee.
Oh, yeah, I wrote that. I wanted the lawyer to weigh in on something
Yeah.
where I can't remember what the disagreement was, but
Well, a
felt
ton
we
of
needed
people
it.
got involved in it. I got a list of AJ and whatever all chimed in on it. So anyway,
Yeah,
I don't have anything other than the final what we did without the proxy stuff. Now where'd everybody go here?
yeah, I just,
Okay. So yeah,
well, I've got an N&E manual revised 7/19/19. That was probably it.
does it have the proxy stuff in it?
Well, no, not back then, not in 2019.
Nancy, I think he's trying to ask for the one you and I are looking at right now.
Oh,
I have a copy of the N&E manual that we finalized from May 25th, and that's the only one I have.
okay. The one I have is looking at is N&E manual
Actually, here I
July
have another one too. I have one
2021,
here. It
not
said,
approved.
this is from you, and it says 2019 N&E and compared. What are those?
It's interesting. We're looking at different things. Let's try to do this. There. And it has some, what was it on page 17? It'll have proxy stuff. Michael, did we lose him?
Yep, we lost Michael.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the process of sending a link out, which will give him what he needs.
Ah, okay. Okay, well, what about this 2019 manual? Can we use that?
I mean, I imagine we'd have to go off of whatever the last approved one was, which I don't know if that 2019 one has any edits to it or if that's the original.
Well, let me see if I can get back to it. God, this is hard to work with. Oh, I see what the problem is. There it is. I can't believe I used to do all my work on a laptop practically. Now I can't seem to do any. Let me see what's in this. Got it. Okay, it's 29.
Welcome back, Michael. I just sent you an email with a
Me?
link. Yeah.
Okay, I am not going to try to go there because my computer said that my internet connection is unstable, and that's why I was over checking my email, but okay. So,
Well, that's not the one that was. That's when we worked on, I think. Yeah, phooey. What else is in there? Okay, so we need to round up the existing one. Okay. Well, is there anything else we can do now? I'm kind of disappointed. I thought we'd be able to work on it.
No, I don't think so. I'm just updating the notes. So between now and our next meeting, Nancy, you're going to talk with the board and find out what exactly they want for our work, right?
You mean in the way of a comparison?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And we need something to compare it with.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you this email that I have. I'm gonna see if this will work. All right, so I sent both of you an email that's from Nancy that says that this is, one is the original document and the other one is the document that we altered.
Okay.
And it says that this is so that we could compare them, as in your email. That's what it says.
When did I write that? Last year?
Yes, it was
Okay. I thought we had gotten to the point where we'd done a comparison.
February. That's from February 1st. Maybe it's this year.
Of 2020
Well, I don't
or
know.
2022 or 2021?
I'm looking at my email. It just says February. I don't get a date on it. It says February 1st at 11:10 a.m. It says the 2019 manual was the one we started from, and the 7/1/21 looks like the one we finished. So if this was finished in 7/1/21 and this email came out in February, I'm assuming you sent it out in 22.
Okay, let me see what the attachment. 20.
And the attachments are 2019 NNE manual, and then it says compared doc.
Okay.
And I tried opening them, and that's when I got lost. My internet access decided to just go weird. But I do have your email here, Steve. Sign in to continue to docs. I don't know how to, do I got to sign into Google?
Yeah, it looks like you have a Google account with your the same email address I emailed you at, because I don't want to give out your email address since this is recorded and it will go onto YouTube.
Well, yeah, you sent it to my personal email, but it's a Google document, so it's gone, unless somehow it went here too. You sent it to a Gmail address?
I did not know. I sent
Okay.
it to another provider.
All right. So,
But when I look at the document permissions, it lists the same email address that I sent it to. Not trying to be cryptic, just trying to, protect your information.
yeah, that's my hot dog address.
Okay.
All right.
Is
So,
that what that is?
yep, that's my hot dog business. Okay. So I have this thing open here now.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, you want to go down to page 17, and 5.7 is where the proxy ballots are.
Oh, I remember this one now. That 719 came, or that 2019 came in with all the sentences run together.
Yep. I remember that. That was fun to fix.
Yeah, well, this one is totally unfixed. And it doesn't look like the whole thing. Well, let's find out. I can ask, there should be a board meeting on Thursday.
Okay.
I should be
Okay.
able to ask just how much detail do they want?
So where am I going? I'm on page 16.
Go down one more. I'm sorry. It's a
That
miscount because I
page-
forgot we have a title page. You want to go down to page 18. It's numbered 17 in the document. It's got
Alright.
5.7 on it.
I
Proxy
see
balance.
it's all in purple.
Yep.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Oh my God. All right.
Maybe they take just with our cross outs and comments on the side as enough.
But the problem with that is once you approve a change, which we've done a lot of in this document, that
Oh.
side comment goes away.
That's true. That's true.
Now, there may be a history of it, which I'm looking at now. I'm not seeing where that is.
Tools. Well, there is a compare documents thing.
Yeah.
If we have a document to compare it with.
Exactly. And that's what the problem's been this whole time. If I can get that original document, we can use the compare document tool and find out what's going on. We just need to have that uploaded
Yeah.
by Sudden Valley staff member. And
Okay,
then we should be able to compare them, and it should take minutes.
I will see if I can get to that.
Mm.
And it would be, can you do a PDF? Can you load it, or does it have to be like a Word or a?
I mean, with the PDF, I think you can just upload a PDF with it. I don't know.
Hey guys, this is John. I just wanted to check in here. Do you need me to look for something right now?
We are looking for the last approved N&E manual. And it was probably 2019.
Not sure if I'll find that in short order, but I'll start looking for it now.
Okay.
Basically, John, we're just trying to do a compare between that document and what we currently have to then hopefully present the board with the changes.
So are we all happy with what we wrote for proxy?
So in my N&E manual that was given to me when I signed up for this, I have a copy of the bylaws that says Sudden Valley bylaws with 2020 AGM updates.
Yeah, but the N&E manual's in the back of that. I just realized. Let me go downstairs and grab my folder too. I'll be right back.
Yes, I have the, oh, that's the bylaws, wrong spot.
It's
So,
behind the bylaws. I
Yeah,
think.
I have the N&E manual here in my folder.
Right. I have that also, but I don't have the time to retype all of it manually.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, this has to be somewhere if they were able to print it. And I
Yep.
have no idea. I don't see a date on it when it was.
Who signed it? Go to the part where the signatures are. There'll be a date. There's people signed it.
It says the attorney opinion was from 2016 and the other dates are 2009.
No, I mean the signatures. There's
Should
a
be
like
page that
Page
has,
5.
Leslie Robert McRoberts, Paula Bircher, and Lee Langdon.
what did they date it? They should have all dated it.
There were
There's-
no dates and no signatures. It's blank, but their names are on it.
Mm. Okay. Well, it's probably 2019, I guess.
No, it would be later than that, wouldn't it? Because wasn't Linda the board? Sorry, words are running away from me. Wasn't
N&E.
Linda the N&E chair for 2019?
I don't think she was.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Lee Langdon
Oh,
was.
here on this page, it says, therefore be it now resolved that the board hereby adopts this 2019 election manual to serve as the official rules.
Okay,
The one in my folder has been adopted 2019.
so that's the one we need. If it's in the folder, it's official.
It's in the folder and there's got to be a copy of it somewhere.
Ah, he's got NNE revision 3. Fantastic.
That is probably what we need, John. If you can upload that to Google Docs and send us a link, then I can do the compare tool.
Get on it right now.
Thank you, sir.
What format is it in, Don? John, is it PDF or?
It's a PDF. Yep.
Okay, we'll see what we. See if it texts it.
Or are we gonna try to do this whole thing tonight? Because my back's not gonna last this long.
Well, let's see
basically-
if this works.
I don't think we need to worry about doing this whole thing tonight because all the other changes we've already approved. It's
Right.
just the proxy thing we need to look at. And if we're all on board with the changes to proxy, then it's just uploading the file and seeing if the magic tool works the magic we want. So let's go through 5.4 quickly. So, well, as long as we need, I don't want to rush us, but I don't want Michael's back to go out on him either.
No,
Yeah, I hurt my back a couple of weeks ago, about $600 ago.
Ouch.
And it just hurts to sit here. So that's okay. So we're starting at 5.4.
5.7.
Oh, because you have purple up in 5.4 also.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at that if you want to. It's
That's
just
okay.
earlier you had said that you're not too worried about the small changes like that because that's peppered throughout. And that's Nancy and I went through all of those in the last meeting and we both approved them, but we didn't want to bring a vote of it until we had a chance to look at this one, all three of us.
they're
Okay.
not major changes, Michael.
Nope, they look fine. Okay. Well, all right, 5.7.
Yep. Do we want to read through this out loud or just read through it at our own pace?
Whatever you want to do.
I'll read it.
Okay.
Proxy ballots, 5.7 proxy definition. Washington state law requires homeowner association members be allowed to vote in person by a proxy at a meeting of the membership. A proxy is a designated agent who serves in a member's place at the AGM or SGM. Proxy also refers to the written authority designating the agent and giving that agent the right to act for a member. At the AGM or SGM meeting, the proxy can vote, raise a point of order, speak, or do anything the member can do at a general meeting. Proxy limits. SBCA bylaws, Article 2, Section 7E specify once a vote is cast, it may not be changed. By state law, a proxy agent is limited to casting their ballot from the meeting floor while the AGM or SGM is in session. The proxy's ballot is collected with any other ballots from the floor vote at the meeting. On the other hand, a mailed-in ballot or a drop box ballot or a morning of the AGM SGM ballot is cast before the AGM SGM begins. So will always be cast before a proxy ballot can be cast. The first ballot cast is the ballot that is tallied. Additionally, the existence of a registered proxy does not prevent an owner of that property from casting their ballot by mail or drop box or from voting the morning of the AGM SGM. Their ballot will be cast before the proxy ballot can be passed. The first ballot is the ballot that is tallied. That's what we went back, that one letter where there was a disagreement. and it was between Linda and I, is once a person gives a proxy, can they vote anyway? And the lawyer said emphatically, yes. So that ended that conversation. Then designating a proxy agent, back to reading. Any member can designate a proxy by completing the required paperwork. A property can have as many proxies as it has individual owners listed on the deed. The designated agent, proxy agent requirements. The designated agent must be an SVA member in good standing and remain so while serving as an agent. Proxy agents cannot give anything of value to a member in order to be designated the member's proxy. Proxy agents cannot receive anything of value in return for their services. A proxy agent cannot accept more than 5 proxies per AGM or SGM. This is to discourage the practice of ballot harvesting. Excuse me?
Before we go any farther, can we take that line where it starts proxy agents cannot give anything of, and just put it down in the next level with that paragraph so it's all in the same paragraph? No, up farther, up on 17.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
He's
Yeah,
talking about
that way the whole paragraph's all together. It just looks better. Okay.
There is going to be some settling because I'm going through and I'm removing the extra spaces
Yeah,
and such.
okay.
So I don't know exactly where it'll end, but I agree with you. It should be
Yeah,
all in one.
the paragraph.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You
the
didn't want
paragraphs
to
will
cut
all
the
be together.
paragraph
All right,
across.
that's fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Now I understand. Okay, proxy forms and processes. Instructions on how to obtain and return a proxy request form are included in the AGM voter booklet beginning October 1st. A member wishing an original SVCA proxy form may address their written, signed, hard copy request to the NNE committee in care of the SVCA admin office for I guess I should have said administration office, 4 Clubhouse Circle, Bellingham, Washington, 98226. The member will be mailed an official numbered hard copy form to fill out designating their proxy agent. The owner of
1
multiple.
second. Is it 98226, not 98229?
9229.
I'll bet it is 9.
It's 9.
Okay.
I copied that from somewhere else and it must have been wrong because that's Bellingham's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. The member will be mailed, oh yeah, okay. An owner of multiple lots must execute and submit a proxy individually for each lot. A member must mark their choice of a directed proxy or a general proxy and complete the information for that section of the form. The directed proxy instructs the proxy agent how to mark their ballot. Unfortunately, there is no way to ensure the designated agent votes as directed. This is a risk inherent with proxies. And that's a quote from our lawyer.
Wow.
That this is a risk inherent with proxies. And it's true, there is no way in a secret ballot system.
Yeah. Wow.
It's why I hate proxies. Okay, that is not in the document. Okay, start again. The general proxy form does not instruct the agent how to vote. Both directed and general proxies expire immediately after the AGM or SGM meeting is adjourned. The member will need to date and sign the proxy as well as have it notarized. Once the form is completed, the member will need to deliver the proxy form to the designated agent in time for them to date, sign, and have the form notarized and returned to the N&E committee to register. To be valid, the proxy must be returned directly to the SVCA office in a sealed return envelope addressed to N&E committee in care of SVCA admin office, 4 Clubhouse Circle, Bellingham, Washington, wrong zip code again, no later than 4:30 p.m. on the Friday before the general meeting. A completed proxy may be dropped in the ballot box at administration or mailed as directed above. Because we're going to pick up that mailing box at 4:30 the Friday before. The N&E committee will register the proxy and issue a receipt to the agent to allow them to obtain a special ballot to vote at the AGM. Proxy ballots will be issued the morning of the general meeting during morning voting hours. That's it.
That's
Cool.
it.
I'm in agreement with these changes. I did make multiple space and additional adds and removes.
Yeah.
I updated the zip code to be correct.
On the paragraph above the final paragraph, it says SVCA admin office. Do you want to go ahead and make that administration like you did the other one?
Yeah,
There we go.
thank you.
Just so they look.
This is a lot of hoops, but
This is a lot of crap for something that you can't guarantee they're going to do what you asked them to do in the first place.
and you can, and I wrote in a question to our attorney, why would anyone want to do a proxy when it's so easy to vote by mail? And he just said, that's a good question.
Yeah. There's no way in a secret ballot you can prove what they did.
That's right.
Huh. Wow. Kind of risky. Well, I think it's fine. It spells it all out. It's all laid out, what they have to do, what's to do, and the first vote cast, once it's cast and checked off there, all the rest after it are moot points. And so there you go.
The only thing that will change it is if the owner is no longer an owner at the AGM date. Like if you vote and then you sell your house and the new owner tries to vote and we look at the ballot envelope because it won't be opened at that point and see that it's dated, before the other guy bought it, we can void it.
Yeah. And can the other guy then vote?
The other guy can vote.
Okay.
If he's a member in good standing, he or she, he can vote. And his
Okay.
name is on the deed at that point, he can vote. At the morning of the AGM, we give him a ballot.
Yeah.
Or if there's time, he gets a replacement ballot
Yeah. Okay.
from Unilet, either one. And we had one of those.
Somebody that sold their house during the election.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the new owners got a replacement from Unilect about a week before the AGM.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
It's fair.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, the bylaws say the member, and
Yeah.
they're the member.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that all sounds good.
So are we
With,
going to make a backup copy of this and then see what happens when we compare
I'm hitting the magic button right now.
to make a backup first?
Nope.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's good. So in our email, we all have the PDF files. I grabbed the PDF file, moved it over to Google Docs. I'm hitting the button. It says comparison is ready. And that I compared the wrong documents. Awesome. I just compared the N&E manual with today's meeting agenda. That doesn't help.
did it
we
matter?
try
The
to-
meeting agenda was a PDF, so did it do anything?
Right. So let's try this again here.
First, please make a backup copy.
We have the copy.
I mean, the one we just did.
Yeah, it's in our email. We all have it in our email. The one that we have. So I'm doing the comparison based off of the one that John just sent out. So it's not going to affect the document we've been working on at all. It's going to be, should be its own file, I think. So it'll be fine.
But what
Thanks.
you're saying is whatever you're doing on your computer is not going to change what I have in my email.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Right documents. Let's try this again here. What we're working on is any manual July something. Not approved. All right, that should be it.
What happened here?
Still typing. Let's see. Wait, how do you spell committee? COMI.
COMMITTEE,
Okay. Double M, double T, double E. Got it.
I think.
It's processing.
The document that I have on mine is Entity Manual July 2021 not approved. Okay.
So it's doing something.
Yep. It did. Wow. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of changes. Yeah, I have a thing. I will share it.
So to share it, do I have to get out of this document that I'm in now?
I'm sending another email right now.
Oh, so it's not gonna, you're not gonna share it on Google Docs. You're going to,
No, I am sharing. So it's on Google Docs, and I'm granting you all permission to the file. And everyone should see it in their email in just a moment. John, I'm also giving you a copy of it.
I'm looking at the Google Docs list, but who knows?
There we go. I just emailed it out.
Okay. That,
Okay.
I got
So this one,
two of them. One is 17.2 and the other is 11.9. A minute apart. Okay, that's the revision. from
The file is titled comparison, is how it starts. It's a big old long title.
access denied. You need access. Request access. Your request has been sent. You'll get an email letting you know if your request was approved.
Okay. I did something wrong then. Let me check, because it should be saying, hey. There we go. Share. All right, you should now have access to it, Michael.
Are we getting these things in the email?
Yes, they're in your email.
Okay, I have something. I'll get rid of that. I have comparison of Entity Manual 6/5/19
That's the one.
and
So-
Entity Manual July 21 not approved. So
That's literally every change we've made, all the styling changes, everything.
I'm not getting your email.
I'm showing it's a
Let me refresh it.
Oh, so it's every other page is the change.
Right.
Yeah.
This is literally what they asked for before, but this is useless if they're not wanting to read through the whole thing.
Yeah, they're not going to want to look through the whole thing.
Right. Here, Nancy, I'll try.
Not
and
getting your email.
I don't know. Let me try sending you just a direct email. Subject line is just going to be test.
Nancy, could he be sending it to your personal email versus your board email or vice versa?
Yeah, I think I only have your personal email.
Well, that's fine, because even if you send it to my board email, it automatically forwards to my personal email, because I'm getting on the board email. It's such a ordeal.
Understood.
Nancy, I just sent you what Steve sent me from my computer to yours. And I just forwarded what he sent me to you. Let's see if
Okay.
that works.
Then something is not happy here. Because the last email I've got is 7:20. So
Refresh.
I've hit that, refresh there. I got document shared
Yep,
from
That's the
Michael,
document.
but I never did get anything from Steve.
Let's see if you can open that now.
Oh, it's refreshing some more.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, let me see if I, oh, come on. It says open. Ah, something opened. Hallelujah.
Woohoo.
I saw the street dogs thing flip up.
Yep. Yeah, there's 333 changes.
I'm not seeing anyone and any changes in this. This is just.
What's the title of what you're looking at, Nancy?
Oh, this is just the elections manual from 2019.
That may have been my earlier email.
Okay, it probably was. Sometimes Comcast is just really, really slow.
Well, at any rate, we have a comparison here now. We have the proxy stuff in it. We all agreed that it's what we want it to say. And the changes in the N&E manual that we have in it, we all agree on that that's what we want them to say. So why don't we just stop, wait for you can get your email and look at this later and find out what does the board want. Do they want this? Would they look at this the way it is with 300 changes and they have to go through however many pages it is? One of 50, there's 57 pages in here that they'd have to look through and see what the notes showing what we did.
Mhm.
Or do they want to see, like, what do they want to see? So that we know what to give them, because we have it all right here, right now. In this comparison.
Yeah, basically.
We're
because
shooting in the
styling-
dark. We're shooting in the dark, trying to figure out what they want.
Yeah, so we'll find out. I don't understand because I've got this, it says comparison, but I'm not seeing any of the markings you're all looking at.
Yeah, basically
Okay.
the whole thing is in purple from what I'm seeing, because we've touched all of it.
Okay, I'm asking the owner to be an editor.
Okay. That unfortunately is me. And yes,
Okay,
It is done.
okay. I don't understand. Maybe there's a pane I need to turn on that shows the edits.
It just opened right up for me in a new window, and it said, comparison to entity manual 6519 dash, and then revision 3, and the entity manual from 2021 not approved. And there's the one page and then the next page that shows that page was changed, and then the page with the changes, and the next page showing what was changed. And it's all spelled out here, all 57 pages of it.
I mean, to be fair, on page 4, we didn't change election spreadsheet. That's in black. That's one thing we didn't modify. Everything else is in purple from what I'm seeing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've only got 27 pages though.
Yeah, you're not getting the whole thing yet.
No,
That's
I'm
weird.
not. But I've got the file, which is named comparison of. Entity manual and, oh, wait a minute. This, I closed that one and opened it again. Maybe it wanted, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I
It
see what you mean
wanted
now.
me to have editing privileges to look at it, I think.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, there's a bunch of changes. I titled
got 'em.
every change was done by entity committee. So this should be what they want, maybe possibly.
This is the kind of thing you give people just so they'll throw it, give up.
Which I mean,
Let's
it's not what
find
I'm,
out what they really want.
yeah. So I tell them that we have this. This is exactly what was asked of before, but we didn't have
What
the
did I
resources
do?
earlier. We do now.
Okay,
I just did something and I shouldn't have. I touched the screen and something changed on here, so you're gonna have to fix that.
What did you do?
I don't know, but my picture changed and it put a box on the
Oh,
page there. I don't know why it did that. I was trying to
It
go. I was
it
trying
found
to,
a header, maybe. It
yeah,
put-
it changed the header. It got rid of the whole page.
yep.
First, I was trying to go down and I wasn't quite in my little box.
Okay.
Can
Yeah,
you
it looks
go-
like there's 328 edits. So what we'll probably need to do is make another version of it. Because I don't have a way to, I tried undoing.
There. I undid what I did.
Cool. Yep, I see it. Good.
And so I won't touch that screen.
What page were you doing this on?
It's on
Page
page 1. I was trying to scroll down and I wasn't on my little scroller button right, and it made a notation on the page.
And
But I
somehow now
undid
the
it.
logo is on the next page as well. I
Yeah.
mean, basically, the formatting isn't a big deal. I would take this to them and we can adjust that afterwards if they approve it.
Yes.
Did we really redo? Yeah, we did. It, because we changed page numbers, it redid the whole table of contents, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Yep. All of it.
Because we
remember
changed the
doing that.
page numbers.
Yep.
One part of that line changed, so the whole line had to change.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember Steve doing that and catching up the page numbers. So, well, why don't we got everything in here that we want. We've got all the changes we want. We've got the proxy stuff in here that we want. What we need to know is, what does the board want?
Okay, and I'll try and find that out.
And then we can just save all
Thursday.
this and then decide. They tell us what they want and we can leave it like it is and give them the whole Mary Ann here. Or we can give them, try to give them what they want. So they can see.
And this comparison also was not done with the changes we reviewed last time. So we should probably do it again, but we can wait until we hear what they want, because I don't want to make any extra
Yeah,
mistakes one way or the other with it.
no,
What I'm thinking is this will go to document review and the board won't see it, document review will. So let me see if that's what they want to do with it.
yeah,
Sounds good.
Okay.
okay,
And then Sonia and I can argue about it. I
Yeah.
think Sam's on that committee too. And timing maybe. Okay, is there anything else? Do we want to meet on the 25th? Let me see what the board says.
Yeah, let's see what the board says. I've got a feeling we won't need it, but let's see what the board says. And if they approve, we'll just make the document, meet for 5 minutes, make it official and move on.
uh-huh,
If they want to send it to document review, we agree to that,
yep,
right? Okay.
yep,
Do we need a motion that right now, or?
I don't think I need a motion for
Okay.
that because it would be, well, if it should protect, we're sending it to the board. We're asking the board what they want to do, basically.
Yeah.
And if the board says document review, well,
we're all in favor of sending it to document review.
okay. The only other thing I wanted to talk about is I don't see any need to, if anybody can think of any bylaw they want to put out for this year, think about it and write up a draft. I thought about doing something on proxies, but I don't think I can get it passed. It's too complicated.
Yeah,
All right, so we're on to new business.
Yep, that's new business. And the next meeting is April 25th, and we'll just have to see what the board decides to do, and I'll get back to you. Is that okay?
okay,
And then
good.
we can adjourn unless somebody has something else.
No, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, all in
Seconded.
favor?
Oh, yep.
Hope your back feels better.
Oh, it's better than it was. It felt like I had a tent stake stuck between my shoulder blades, and I don't have that now. I just get uncomfortable sitting. I have to keep moving around and kind of reposition things, because if I set up like this, it starts hurting.
Oh, dear.
I
Sorry, is the meeting adjourned?
The meeting
Yeah.
is